So the biggest mistake that people make, and by people I mean shamans, facilitators, and people who promote and guide plant medicine retreats, is that there is a lack of experienced, effective integration. What I mean by this is that, for example, in Colombia, there's a lot of different medicine houses. And these are created by people who feel very connected to their work with plant medicine, and they want to extend the opportunity for others to participate. So maybe they buy a cottage, maybe a land like this, and then they invite a shaman that they trust to come and give medicine in their place. On top of this, there's also the temples in the jungle, some temples in the mountains, where the shamans have created their own places consecrated to give medicine. But something that I realized that was quite common was two things. There were people that have this as their lifestyle, in the same way that someone goes to church every Sunday. There are people who drink medicine every 2-3 weeks, a few times per month. It's part of their spiritual journey, it's part of their process of growth. And I will run into the same person, the same groups of people in different medicine houses or in the place that I work near Medellin. And the first thing that will happen is I will see someone struggling with the exact same thing I saw them struggling 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I will see someone still stuck in the same toxic cycle. I will see people that were sometimes very close to the shaman still dealing with a lot of very simple stuff. And I was shocked, because if they're drinking so much medicine, how can they not experience a profound change and shift in their life? So I would question, like, is this as good as I imagine it to be? Because for me, it was a profound shift. And for a lot of people, I saw, well, why are they the same if they drink so often? Number two, I would realize that since I started this channel and the page on Instagram, I had a lot of requests from people that had drank plant medicine in a different retreat center and that were struggling with integrating what they lived. And quite often they had messaged me after they had been ignored by the shamans and facilitators from the place they attended. And there were two types of people who had such beautiful and magical and mystical experiences that they came back and they were left with, okay, like, where do I go from here? How do I make sense of what I saw? I went very deep. Maybe I felt that I died and met God and came back, and what do I make out of my life right now? So some people that had very beautiful and profound experiences but were struggling to put words to them, and more than that, to know how can they live now that they have seen and understood certain things. On the other hand, there were some people that, quite the opposite, they have very rough experiences, borderline traumatic, where they just vomited themselves, pooped their pants, screamed, lost their mind for a few hours, or maybe went to a very dark place and were confronted with a lot of the evil, a lot of the darkness that is present in humanity. And they came back feeling a little bit disencouraged, like, what's the point of life if there's so much chaos, so much pain? And once again, trying to find meaning within this. And I asked one of the shamans about this, because at the beginning I offered another medicine house to support people with the preparation and integration process. And the guy that was in charge, he just dismissed my invitation. He said, no, it's okay. We know how we do things. We know how we do things is that I had and ever since I've had a lot of people that have messaged me asking to support them integrating from the medicine house. And the problem is, and the biggest problem in most ayahuasca retreat centers, is that medicine is drunk within a context of community, which is the same context in which most people live, which in a way reduces the need for a guided integration process. Back in the jungle, the person that you were drinking medicine with, on one side it was your wife, on the other side it was your boss, on the other side maybe it was your son, on the other side is your neighbor that you have an argument with, on the other one maybe there is your business partner, and the other one there's the mayor of the city. So you will go through profound experiences, blissful or challenging, and then you will come back and you're already in nature, surrounded by a community that already understands what you went through, in connection with the people with whom maybe you had things to heal, and with whom you probably had conversations during those moments of ceremony. So there's not a lot of work to be done in reintegrating yourself into the community, because the medicine is part of the community, it's part of the day-to-day life. So an integration process was almost unnecessary. Why? Because integration happens in your day-to-day relationships. But it also happens during the retreat, because the people you're in the retreat with are the people that you spend your life with. However, now that the medicine has come out closer to the cities and has also expanded internationally, and I know there's retreat centers almost everywhere, it's a bit more difficult because a lot of the participants are not part of a community. Most of the time, there's the shaman, his assistants, and then everybody else who comes does not know anyone else that is attending. Quite often, because of the way that the retreats are set up, the people that come do not have a chance to be in connection with the whole group. Maybe just one or two people that they exchange contact information with. So when they go back home, they go back into, first, an environment that is rarely a natural one. Number two, a community that is rarely understanding and quite often disapproving of their experience with plant medicine. Some people are luckier to be surrounded by people that are very supportive of their journey of growth, of healing, of reconnection to themselves. But sometimes family and friends will judge. Boy, you went to take drugs in Colombia? What? You went to vomit and puke? And there's a lot of judgments based coming out of ignorance, which makes it harder because you go back and you have nobody to share your experience with. You're going to a work setting where people are radically disconnected from themselves, from nature, from their hearts. And if you come back and you had a profound experience and your heart is fully open, that's going to hurt. And that's going to be difficult to navigate your life with an open heart when everything around you is pulling you into closure. And this is the main mistake that is done, that is made in most retreat centers and medicine houses, even the ones in the jungle, even the ones led by reliable shamans. And it is that integration is dismissed, is ignored. There's the blind assumption that you drank the medicine and that's all that you need. It's just an inner process, so you don't need support of anybody else. And I have yet to see someone building a beautiful house without the help of at least one more person. Is it possible? No doubt, but way more challenging, because context trumps willpower 99% of the times. And if your community and the people that you're surrounding yourself with are pulling you down, it's going to take a lot of willpower for you to remain connected to the things that you live through a plant medicine experience. The opposite is also true. If you have a very weak willpower, but the community around you is holding you to a high standard, is supporting you, is calling you out on your nonsense, if the people are inspiring and living lives of consciousness, even if you have weak willpower, just by mere association, you're going to end up raising, you're going to end up having higher standards for yourself. So integration is a way to create this context, a context in which there is guidance, there is support, there is community. Sure, each of us is responsible for our inner garden, but it's a lot easier to tend to it when we have the help of others, especially experienced gardeners who have been where we have been, who have gone through beautiful mystical experiences and also gone through hell, and learn how to distill the gold from that. And more than a mental process, are living lives where the lessons are embodied. Impeccable lives of honesty, of truth, of health, of inner peace, of harmony in their relationships, of wealth and abundance in their career, of honesty in their connections and their friendships and their family. So I invite you to pay close attention if you're thinking to drink plant medicine, or if you have drunk it before, to hopefully ensure that the place that you're going into has some sort of guided integration process, and that is not gonna just let you have an abrupt landing when you come home and deal with it by yourself. Number one. Number two, after a few requests, I decided to create an online course for preparation and integration ayahuasca ceremonies. Originally, I was only going to offer it to the people that came and worked with us directly, but I realized that there's a lot of people that are going in a lot of different medicine houses around the world and come out of there feeling a little unsettled, a little unsure on how to move forward, and with a deep craving for community, for guidance, and for a proven path to integrating and embodying the lessons that come from plant medicine. If this sounds like something that you're interested in and you feel you will enjoy walking your journey of integration next to me, I invite you to check the links that are below to read a little bit more about the course, what it entails, and if it resonates with you, if you have a few weeks that you can dedicate to having a safe landing from your journey and having your life expand and not contract after your ayahuasca experience, then take a look. Once again, if you haven't drank plant medicine yet, but you're still in your research phase, there's also a course that I'm putting together on proper preparation, the things I wish I had known before I drank plant medicine. And I had a very rough first time, so I've done every mistake you could make and learn from it. So in the preparation process, I share everything on how you can have the safest, most stable, and also deepest experience. And then integration, how you can make that your day-to-day reality. And again, if you want to come and drink medicine with us in Colombia with our shaman in a safe setting, the links are below. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to post them here. Talk soon.